Identify the human ruler. The question echoed through the bridge of the Imperial flagship. Supreme Warlord Zorath had conquered 43 civilizations. Every species had a leader. A king, a queen, a hive mind, an emperor. Died the leader. And the war ended. The intelligence officer hesitated. "We're still searching." Zorath frowned. "It's one planet." "Correct." "How difficult can it be?" the officer swallowed. "There doesn't appear to be one." Silence. "What do you mean?" "There isn't one." For 3 years, Imperial intelligence searched Earth. They infiltrated governments, intercepted communications, analyzed military structures, studied economies, tracked political figures. Every report reached the same impossible conclusion. Humanity had no single ruler. There were presidents, prime ministers, kings' councils, governors, mayors, military commanders, corporate executives, scientists, religious leaders. None of them controlled humanity. The Empire assumed it was deception. Every civilization lied about its true command structure. Humans had to be doing the same. The invasion began anyway. 100,000 warships emerged above Earth. Every communication satellite received the same transmission. "I am Supreme Warlord Zorath. Surrender your leader. You have 1 hour." The message was translated into every human language. The countdown began. An hour later, nothing happened. No surrendered. No delegation, no ambassador. Only millions of confused internet posts. "Who's he talking about? Does anyone know our leader?" "Pretty sure it's not me." "Ask Australia." "Why Australia?" Asterisk. "They're awake." Zorath grew impatient. Perhaps they misunderstood. He transmitted again. "Bring us the individual who commands your species." This time, replies flooded in, millions of them. Some were serious, most weren't. One message simply read, "My wife." Another, "Good luck finding anyone in charge." Another, asterisk. "If you figure it out, tell us too." The Empire selected one government to eliminate. A precision strike destroyed its capital. Within minutes, emergency governments formed. Military units continued operating. Utilities stayed online. Hospitals remained open. Internet traffic barely changed. The planet kept functioning. Try another. Another government fell. Same result. Another, same, another same. Zorath stared at the reports. "They're adapting too quickly." His strategist looked concerned. "It's almost as if they expected governments to fail." The Empire changed tactics, assassinate military leadership. Special forces struck command centers across the planet. Generals disappeared. Admirals vanished. Entire headquarters were destroyed. Human response time, 23 minutes. New commanders took over. Many were younger. Some were better. One naval officer had been fishing an hour earlier. By sunset, he commanded an entire fleet. Destroy their communications. Thousands of satellites exploded. Fiber optic lines were severed. Relay stations vaporized. The internet slowed for 11 minutes. Then civilian companies rerouted traffic. Ham radio operators volunteered. Private satellites activated. Universities opened research networks. Teenagers built wireless relays on rooftops. A 12-year-old accidentally created the fastest route across 3 continents. Zorath slammed his fist into the command console. "Who is organizing this?" "No one. Supreme Warlord." "What? They're organizing themselves." The Empire couldn't understand. Without orders, humans simply helped. Truck drivers delivered military supplies. Restaurant owners fed soldiers for free. Mechanics repaired tanks. Farmers donated harvests. Retired doctors returned to hospitals. Programmers protected infrastructure. Construction workers built bunkers. Nobody waited to be told. They just started. Then came the worst mistake. The Empire disabled Earth's electrical grid. Entire continents went dark. Zoroth smiled. Now they'll collapse. Instead, millions of generators started. Factories switched to backup power. Neighborhoods shared solar systems. Electricians worked around the clock. Engineers uploaded repair manuals. People who had never met worked together. Not because they were ordered to, because someone needed help. The invasion entered its third week. The Empire had destroyed governments, military headquarters, power grids, communication networks, transportation hubs, yet Earth refused to surrender. Not because its armies were unbeatable, but because every civilian replaced someone who had fallen. Every destroyed system had volunteers rebuilding it before the smoke cleared. Finally, the Imperial Intelligence Chief requested permission to speak. "I believe we've misunderstood humanity. Explain. We assumed governments created civilization. They don't? No. What does?" The officer looked at billions of human activity reports, neighbors helping neighbors, strangers donating blood, volunteers clearing roads. Full of death. Teacher opening schools in shelters, families taking in refugees, engineers fixing bridges they didn't build, firefighters entering collapsing buildings without orders. He answered quietly. The civilization creates the government. Not the other way around. Zorath decided on one final strategy. He broadcast a message to every human.
If no one rules you,
For several minutes, nothing. Then one reply appeared. A nurse in a field hospital looked directly into the camera. "You don't." More screens activated. A firefighter, a mechanic, a teacher, a farmer, a bus driver, a software engineer, a grandmother knitting blankets for soldiers, a child carrying water bottles to rescue workers, millions of faces. None famous, none powerful, all ordinary, the nurse smiled. "If you want Earth, you'll have to convince all of us." The war ended 6 days later. Not because humanity defeated the Empire militarily, because the Empire finally understood. There was no palace to capture, no emperor to kill, no throne to seize, no single person who could surrender the planet. Earth wasn't held together by one ruler. It was held together by billions of ordinary people, making millions of small decisions every day. Centuries later, every cadet at the Galactic War Academy learned the first rule of human warfare. Never ask who leads humanity. The instructor would always pause before revealing the answer. Because if humans are having a good day, the answer is everyone. And if they're having a bad day, it's still everyone. The galaxy had conquered empires. It had defeated hive minds. It had overthrown kings. But it had never found a way to invade 8 billion people who all believed the planet belonged to them.